So as a trader, you think you need to trade to make money. So before we get into the funding companies and we talk about the capitalization of traders and how so many traders are just undercapitalized, let's talk about this mindset of I want to trade, I want to make money, I'm here to make money. But in order to do that, I actually have to be okay with not trading sometimes and waiting for a better setup. Both of you, if you could, one at a time, what's something that you keep at the forefront of your mind to help you stay in that tunnel vision focus of survival over everything else?
Yeah, I'll let Lindsay go first on this one because she'll probably have a good answer.
Lindsay always has good answers.
Yeah.
I think the vision, I always go back to the same thing though. It's once you see something working for you and bringing you that consistency, I don't stray from it.
It's amazing because like that just shows your decision-making ability. You know what I mean? Like that's so powerful.
That is so simple for me to say, but that's what it comes down to because of going back to just what I said the very first time, being so inconsistent for so long, then finding my edge and finding the high probability setups that come my way now. That
it was like a light switch for you.
It was a light bulb moment.
Right.
So even when I go back to like my real successful time from coming into ASFX started in May and came right through to September to be slowed down. And that period of time really got me to be the disciplined, patient trader that I am today. And that's because I just took the high probability setups consistently for the months. I got consistently profitable and I haven't swayed from that.
What were you going to say, Jerome?
So, yeah, I was just going to, that slow period we have from starting in September, I think that was a lot of test. That was a big test for me, especially for coming in to ASFX in April, and these clean entries that we would all be involved in or have to take advantage of was presenting pretty much, you know, at least one or two of those good entries per week, maybe not even more. Right. So coming into September and October and just kind of the market slowing down a bit because of obviously everything going on in the world, it was just kind of, it really kind of gave me a perspective check and just being like, okay, the market's not presenting anything. I just had to find these ways and always kind of check myself to stay on the right track and not start slipping on my edge.
What were the ways that you would do that?
Going back and just looking at the trade ideas, looking at the high probability setups and just kind of finding what, like exactly what Lindsay was saying, what was working for me since April and what didn't work. And basically all the trades that were presenting, they were the ones that I would get burnt in. So I'm going to admit, like, it was hard not trying to take those trades, especially not trading for a while. I just wanted to get involved just for the fact of taking the trade.
Just bro, we're here to trade. That's such an important thing. And I'm sure people 100%, if not 99% of the people listening are going to say, I feel the same way as Jerome. I've been in that. I've been there. Lindsay has been there. If you're in this business for any amount of time, you're going to have a situation that comes across your desk where one day you really want to trade. Maybe it's 5-6 days after your last trade and you see an entry and it's what we would maybe call a C setup. We could read it, could see it, identify it, but it's just not that great. But that itch comes in and it makes you take that trade. So just being aware of that, do you think that awareness of like, okay, this isn't the best trade. I know I want to trade, but I'm not going to do it because it's not the best trade. Is that awareness creating fear from trading in the future? Or do you look at that as like, I'm being sharp, I'm just going to wait for my next trade?
Initially, it was kind of, I was developing like a fear to get involved, take advantage of the trade because I didn't want my first trade in like 4 or 5 weeks to be a loss.
Right.
But
nobody would.
Coming back to that long-term mentality, you kind of have to collect yourself and be like, all right, this is long-term. Like this is 2 months out of the year we're experiencing a bit of slowness. Like we know it's going to pick up. The market goes in cycles. So having that long-term mindset, just going back in historic data and just kind of
seeing the patterns,
back testing.
Yep.
Exactly. You're going to have slow periods in the market. Exactly. So adapting that long-term mentality, 100% makes me more confident just to kind of be disciplined, be patient, and just wait for those higher probability setups to come back. Because that's what's working for me. Like as soon as you start taking these lower probability trades, you don't know when the market's going to pick up. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you could take a loss, you could even win a few, but over the long term, that's when it's going to affect your overall trade performance.
Well, what if you dig yourself in a hole? With Lindsay and I think we talked about this the other day. Like people that you've gotten on coaching calls, Lindsay, and they're telling you that they've dug themselves in a hole, and you're sitting here saying, but there hasn't been any trades. Like, show me a good trade. And they can't. They can't. They've now dug themselves in a hole. And today's a great day for us to talk about this because look at this morning. 4 entries, 2 A1s, 2 D1s. Like, it's beautiful.
It's fab to watch. I was sitting like Chef a cat. I was like, oh my God, the market.
Finally, right. Everybody.
Yeah,
but I
it's
think
exciting.
The biggest lesson for me today, what I wrote in my journal, was that the market does not care about anybody. And if anything, like you said a few minutes ago, Jerome, this period of time is testing people. And if I would take that a step further, and I would say it's crushing people. This is when people are taking C setups and blowing accounts when the market is choppy like this. So when the market tests me and it doesn't care about me, I still have to show up ready every day. Suit, armor, ready to roll, ready for those entries. Because then when today happens, you want to be on top of the market and say, yeah, I got you. Like, don't try to fool me. You know what I'm saying? And I think it takes experience. And that's why we try to do these videos. That's why I try to make so much content, because it's easy to say it and it's easy to hear it. It's way different to last 6 years and feel it. Like, feel that there are great trading times and slower times. What were you going to say, Lindsay?
I was just, as I said earlier, even on my Instagram, how even I can see it in the community. You know, I'm not naming MD, but I sat with like a big Cheshire cat this morning because I know the guys who have sat patient and disciplined throughout the last few weeks. And then to see them get involved in the market today on the right setup that me and Austin are saying, are like, yes.
Yep. And it's a great feeling.
It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to see that people are watching and taking on board what we are saying, because they're obviously seeing it working for us, and that they're duplicating it. It's
100%. And it takes an army. This is the saying, it takes an army. This is where, because me saying it alone, it doesn't mean anything. No matter how much experience I think I have, how many years, people will still need to learn it for themselves. However, when you're saying it and doing it, Jerome, you're saying it, and 50 other people are saying it, it's a lot more impactful.
But what I think also helps is, before we move on from this topic, that they've seen it now come in, that obviously when, I'm not saying September was a total flat month. There was sometimes it just never happened on our trading sessions within our time. There was some high probability trades, but what I think it brings back to people is that they've saw us come through this, and like they can listen to us now and say the market will come back when it's ready. It will come back. We just have to be patient to let it come back to us.
You gotta be there. You can't run out of money between now and when the market comes back around. That is the biggest piece of it.
So it's nice to watch.
I agree with you 100%. But I think we can actually go a little bit deeper on this.